So we saw a great performance by the Golden State Warriors tonight. It was awesome. My mother and myself separately felt inclined to pray for the team, that they would play the way they are capable of playing, and they pulled off an awesome night tonight. They played the way they can play. They figured out whatever it is they needed to do against Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they figured out a new strategy against LeBron. They seemed to slow him down a lot more tonight. And putting Iguodala in the starting lineup was critical. Their offense was just that much snappier, that much more bouncing around just like a pinball machine. They passed the ball so fast when they got Andre Iguodala out there. And but God is sovereign. That's the coolest part. God is sovereign. He ordains everything. So whatever happens is for His best. Just always cheer for Jehovah and the fact that the numbers are going to be maximum. I loved seeing Andre Iguodala out there every single time since I've been watching the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Every time he's on the court, I feel happy seeing him out there. He just has such a strong, confident, veteran presence. He's 31. He's one of the older guys. I think he's the oldest guy on the court. Superb athlete, though. Superb athlete. And just, I don't need to say anymore. Best outstanding player to fit with the whole offense. And his defense is just incredible. He's an all-round player. He deserves to be out there for as many minutes as possible. I'm glad they put him on the starting lineup. And it showed. It totally showed. He got equal points with Curry, I believe, 20, over 20, maybe 22. Together, they're just unstoppable. When that lineup is out there, Iguodala, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Barnes, and Draymond Green, the speed is just too much. The passing, the intelligence, the playmaking, and the speed and the outside shooting and the speed at which they move the ball around is just too much for other teams to keep up with. And it's just an awesome team to watch. The playmaking is superb. I love the way they just see the court. They see the passes. They get a lot of fast break passes, you know, like the long bomb passes with speed to catch the other team off guard. A lot of last minute passes. Steph Curry will drive past his defender and, you know, draw a second opponent and then just quickly slip it to the new open man, and boom, they throw shots up very quickly. It's a very entertaining team to watch. It's very entertaining to watch the whole series, but I love watching the Golden State Warriors when they put their best offense on. It really is a treat to watch, the playmaking and the passing that goes on in this team, and that's why I love them so much, is the team nature. But Iguodala was the star of the show tonight because he started for the first time this season, and I see that happening for the rest of the game. But all these things are happening as a part of God's mathematical revelations to mankind, and everything that I've been receiving up until now, like I said, the Triple Crown winner, Victor Espinoza at the Belmont, just less than a week ago. Like, all this is just happening. And his name is 8 times 888, just like Andre Iguodala. But, of course, this is just a small thing. I mean, sport is sport, but the whole story of God is being solved much more rapidly than just these confirmations that are happening in high eyeball land, I call it. There's a lot of people that watch this game. There's a lot of people that watch the horse racing and the sports action. But how many people are eyeballing the Oxford English Dictionary and all the words of God that He ordained in English and then in all the languages? Well, that's what I'm doing. We're harvesting it all. And we harvested a ton of gems this morning from the A's of the Oxford Dictionary, including Alcoholics Anonymous, and you dig into the story of Alcoholics Anonymous. Because at the end of the day, folks, the moral, spiritual belief framework of our culture is far more important than a couple hours of entertainment. What our children believe, what we understand about God, is infinitely more important than what we do on the court. So here's just by way of just showing the nature of this business. God is sovereign. He speaks English. He knows the dictionary. He uses every word in the dictionary to talk to his children down here. He's sovereign. And the mathematical beauty of all the words that he uses is exactly the way it's supposed to be. So we might think we're good, but the reality is it's just simply God working through us. That's the crazy part of all this. Christ in you, the hope of glory. And he that is filled with the Holy Ghost talks about Jesus all the time. It's just a marvel to me, an ongoing marvel of how God is doing all of this through people. And we don't seem to feel it one bit. It's like, wow, God is at work inside of me. You know, I feel awesome, but it's not like there's laser beams shooting out of my eyes. It's pretty cool. But it just seems to me, that there's just every area of life that anyone can be interested in. Like, what's your interest? What are you interested in? You can solve it all mathematically. Just you can scoop up all the gems on it. So God has ordained everyone for a time and a place. I just and yeah, it's fun, man. Like, what were my favorite gems from this morning? In the A's, which are the most important because they come first. Definitely the word abdomen, which is where the Holy Ghost lives. That equals love. And you can find the 227s easily. And then the word abide, which is similar in its pure threes. Okay. The Holy Ghost abides in your abdomen, in the gut portion, the belly. And that's where you feel led. And then an abacus, what we use for counting. Amateur athletic association. I was quite touched by solving Alcoholics Anonymous, and okay. Alright. So the whole point is the maximum knowledge of God to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. That's the whole point. All of this is clearly delegatable to all people in all nations of the world, in all languages. It's all numbers, folks. God takes the glory for everything in history using numbers in all languages. Through proper study, you will see it all. And this is easily delegatable to all men and women worldwide. So, what is our goal? To entertain ourselves and distract ourselves while we're down here, or to get to know God and see Him in ways that no one before us has ever understood? I would choose the latter. Thank you very much. The whole point is for everyone to learn and see as much of the glory of God as they possibly can in all the earth. And we have what we call a generation of God lovers and God worshippers. So that's why I've produced all these videos. It's for the hope of changing the world for the better, for the pleasure of God. The games come and go. The activities come and go. God uses them for His glory. But there's eternal truth that needs to get taught to all of our children. And that is what you call a meaningful endeavor. Oh boy. How many people really live their lives for something epic? This is actually the simpler question that you have to begin with. How many people live their lives for someone outside of themselves? How many people live for Jesus Christ, truly and totally? I'm not talking about doing just, well, I do believe that when you're saved and you get filled with the Holy Ghost, that your desires, you should fulfill the desires God gives you. That's who He made you. To thine own self be true. Yeah. I just think we should focus on the knowledge of God, and education is the most transformational thing. Alrighty, the numbers keep coming, and on they will keep being uploaded.